Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are driving on Highway 2000 North South leg. This is a road that takes you from Kingston to Ocho Rios. So today we are going to talk about the highways that are being built in Jamaica. Now, more specifically, we have a lot of highways going east west, but we don't have a lot of highways going north south. So this right now is the only highway in Jamaica that goes over the island or goes from Kingston on the south coast to Ocho Rios on the north coast. We don't have any other highway that goes from the south coast to the north coast. So technically, if you want to drive on a highway from say Maypen to Montego Bay, you're going to have to drive around the coast because there is no highway that takes you from Maypen to the north coast. And there is no highway that takes you from Mandeville to the north coast or even St. Elizabeth to the north coast. Now, the government, or I should say, Highway 2000 is going to go from Hodges in St. Elizabeth to Mount Pelio and then into Montego Bay. So that highway will go north-south, but that's the only one that is on the, well, that one, they haven't started construction yet because the highway has to go from, this is the east-west leg of the highway now, has to go from Williamsfield in Manchester to Hodges in St. Elizabeth, which is going to take about 5 years, and then from Hodges in St. Elizabeth to Montego Bay. So that they have plans to build that highway, but it hasn't been built yet. But we need a highway from Mandeville to the north coast. And there was actually a plan to build a highway from Mandeville to Discovery Bay, but those plans were scrapped. It was actually a part of Highway 2000 to build that leg of the highway. But Jamaica is progressing nicely. The highway network is progressing nicely. But we need more highways going north-south. The North Coast is one of the busiest places in Jamaica, especially for tourism. And the South Coast has such potential for tourism, but you have to have a highway to fully utilize the South Coast. You have to have highways going from the airports to the South Coast. Now, we have this highway. It takes you from Kingston to Ocho Rios. Great highway, job well done by China Harbour Engineering Company, who at this time is the only company in Jamaica capable of building highways like this. But this highway doesn't go around the mountain and it goes through it. Okay, so we need a highway from Maypen over to the north coast, and we also need a highway from Mandeville over to the north coast, St. Elizabeth over to the north coast, and then we need one from from Savlamar over to Montego Bay. Now, they've built the Macfield Main Road, which is a highway quality road from Ferris in Westmoreland up to, I think it's Ramble, which is also in Westmoreland. But that's where the road stops. So we need to continue that road over to Montego Bay, because remember, the Sangster International Airport is the lifeline of tourism for Jamaica. So you need all roads, all highways going to Montego Bay on the western side. And then now they have plans to build the Montego Bay bypass, which is different from the Montego Bay perimeter road. The Montego Bay bypass is to build a highway from Montego Bay to Negril. So that will also be another highway. That one will be more for tourists because it's very important to connect Negril to Montego Bay because those are two major tourist towns in Jamaica. Well, Montego Bay is a city, and Negril is going to become a city very soon. And then now you have the Northern Coastal Highway from Negril to Montego Bay. Now that road it's built, but it was built decades ago, and the road has outgrown its usefulness because that road goes through Lucy, which is a traffic nightmare, goes through Hopewell, which is a traffic nightmare, and it goes through other towns like Sandy Bay, Green Island, which are the road is, it's called a Northern Coastal Highway, but it's like a main road that goes through a town. It's not a highway like what we are on now. It's a 2-lane road that goes through these towns, so you have bottlenecks. So when I said at the beginning we need highways that go north-south, I meant highways like what we're driving on now. First world quality roads like what we're driving on now. So we'll keep you guys updated on these projects. So to summarize, we need a highway from Maypen going to the North Coast. They have no plans to build one at this time. We need a highway from Mandeville over to the North Coast. They don't have any plans to build one at this time. Then we need a highway from St. Elizabeth to Montego Bay. Now they have plans to build that one. It's just going to take some time. We need a highway from Savlamar over to Montego Bay, and they've built half of it already with the Macfield Main Road. They just need to complete it going into Montego Bay. And that road needs to also join up with Highway 2000. But we'll talk about that in another video. And then we need a Montego Bay bypass, which they have plans to build, but they haven't started yet, going from Montego Bay to Negril. And then the Northern Coastal Highway that runs along the coast needs to be upgraded to 4 lanes, and I'm not sure how that would work with the Montego Bay bypass, because maybe you wouldn't need to bypass towns like Lucy and Hopewell if you have the Montego Bay bypass. So once the Montego Bay bypass is built, it will take a lot of traffic off the Northern Coastal Highway. Alright guys, let us know what you think about these highways going north-south. You can leave your comments in the section below. So on the right you can see the police hard at work maintaining law and order on the highways. Alright guys, we're heading towards the Miami Bay Toll Plaza now. Alright guys, have a good day and leave your comments in the section below.